Hey guys, welcome back. This is Amazing Ampharos here with part 5 of my playthrough of Final Fantasy IV The Afteryears. This is going to be Rydia's tale I'll be playing. All of the tales in this game go through the events of the game from the perspective of one of the various characters. They're all out in the world doing their own thing, and when you piece together everything they're doing, you get a very clear sense for what's going on in it. It's a pretty interesting story structure, because instead of a usual JRPG where you see a bunch of things from one person's perspective, you get a sense of a lot of parallel events in this game. We're going to start off with some flashbacks. You can tell it's in the distant past because not only do the characters look younger, but they appear to be using a SNES-era art style, which is an interesting way to depict the distant past, but it works for me. It seems like everyone really pitched in and was very generous in helping rebuild this. And we also are going to see that apparently Rydia was present for Theodore's very first birthday. And apparently Sid was much more anxious over the whole set of affairs than Cecil. I suppose that does fit his character. We cut to the present day, though. We're about to find out that Rydia's gone on a little vacation. She picked a really bad time, as we're going to find out. But then again, it seems like a normal day for her involves children barging into her house demanding to play with her. So, if I were her, I might prefer what she's about to do over this anyway. About to get a pretty mixed reception here. Of course, the Eidolon King has always been a real jovial fellow, happy to see her. The Queen's stickler for the rules. I wonder if we broke her rules when we cast Reflect on them in the last game. We sure couldn't deal with it then. But enough with reminiscing, let's get back to what's going on right now. The Eidolon King is very concerned and sent Rydia out of here, but he's about to get a very unwelcome guest. You might remember this mysterious girl had some very bad news for Cecil, and it looks like her news for the Eidolon King and Queen is not really much better. She proclaims she's taking their power, raises her arm, turns him to stone. Rydia, of course, not only considers them like a family to her, but she's also a summoner, so they're integral to her combat abilities. So let's investigate and find out just what's going on. It would seem like all the rest of them are statues too. We can run around and talk to them all freely. You're pretty much going to hear some variation of "Help, it hurts, I'm dying, Rydia, you're okay." Which is pretty much bad news for them. But there's not a whole lot we can do about it, other than help ourselves to this treasure and advance the story and see if that helps our cause. So we can still read all these books from the first game. Personally, my favorite is this one, reminding us that Ashura was not the only one of the summons who was really free to reflect. And now, of course, Rydia discovers the truth of what's happened. She blames herself, though I'm not sure that really makes any sense. You seem to think it's analogous to what Cecil and Kane did in the first game, accidentally torching this. But even though they had just as much intention of her as causing harm, none at all, they did have to kill the Mist Dragon and then enter the village carrying an explosive package. Rydia just kind of walked into the Feymark, and then someone else walked in behind her and did this. And I'm fairly convinced that mysterious girl was coming out of the room. But regardless of whether Rydia's guilt is rational, I do agree with her concern that as a summoner, it would probably be good to help her summon out. So let's get out of here and see if there's anything we can do. And Rydia is going to try to resolve this the way a summoner would, by summoning something. But considering on the theme of his tale, it's time for some bad news. Rydia can't summon. Rydia is a summoner with no summons. So now we have an almost new character, Rydia the Black Mage. Not nearly as fun or as cool as Rydia the Summoner, but we're going to learn to love it. Another thing. When you're given something not quite as good as you might want, you just got to learn to love what you have. Incidentally, we're really lucky the monsters seem to have gotten really weak in the past 17 years. And these floors seem to have become an awful lot less damaging. I'm not convinced that Rydia with no summons at level 15 would have any prayer of getting out of here if they were the way they used to be. Well, it doesn't seem like the encounter rate's gone down any. And let's stack on some bad news. Rydia's ride is ditched her. And she's attacked by a monster. Rydia's just going to give up here. Which doesn't seem smart to me, I think she would win. But she gets saved, so maybe it'll work out okay. So let's meet Luca. Those who played Final Fantasy IV probably remember her as the young daughter of the Dwarf King. In the past 17 years, she's grown up, adopted a completely different sense of fashion, and has been training as an engineer under Sid. Rydia immediately wants to know if the crystal in the castle is okay. Her suspicions are that if someone's going to attack the Eidolons, they probably care about the crystals too, and generally causing havoc. Rydia's smart girl. She's right. So now that we've seen the dwarf castle getting back, let's head over and see just how bad our game's going. Dwarves all seem to be okay. They all are still saying lolly-ho, so I guess that's good. Let's ask the King of the Crystals as lucky as the dwarves. And he's given us some bad but predictable news. The crystal's not okay. It was taken by that same mysterious girl who definitively can summon the idol. We're not certain what's going on with the Redlings, but apparently they also have those two mysterious dark crystals we've never seen where they are. I've always been real curious where they're supposed to be hidden, but that's one of the great mysteries of Final Fantasy IV. This game chooses to leave a mystery. So instead, we're going to adopt the plan of doing what we did last time there was only one dark crystal left, and get the really difficult one out of the sealed pit. Last time it worked out real poorly and took a lot of work. This time it's still going to take a lot of work. I won't spoil how it works out. But with our current characters, we can seem to be a little ill-prepared to rush into that kind of an area. Luca's level 10, Rydia's level 15. Rydia can't summon. Luca's not even that great of a character, really. So let's see if we can help ourselves. First, there's a lot of treasure we can get. And treasure always makes everything feel just a little more possible. And the dwarves are still in good spirits, even though they just lost a battle. That's enheartening, right? By pressing axe here. We're not going to use it directly, but it's going to help us out an awful lot. So you'll have to wait a minute to see just what I mean. The dwarven base is kind of completely out of the way, but it has some good stuff, so we're going to come here anyway. I usually prefer to save those items for whoever I decide to put in my in-game party. But to spoil something much later, Rydia is going to be in my in-game party. She could use those stats right here and now. So I'm adopting the philosophy of use it early and take advantage the whole time. With that, we found everything that can really help us out in the Dwarven Castle. Let's check out what Luca was talking about when she said we won't be alone. It looks like she's found a couple allies for us. This young boy and young girl who appear to be doing airship making work. It looks like her dolls, Halka and Brenna, have gotten a little bit of a makeover since they were that ever so obnoxious boss in the previous game. The good news is they're a lot friendlier. The bad news is, instead of being a powerful boss monster, they're level 1 dolls with guaranteed 4 stats. As they are now, they have no potential whatsoever to help us with battles. But we're going to work a little, and we're going to change them. Starting by heading over to Torma and picking up a couple more useful items. There's no real plot significance to this town. But it is, as ever, a good place to get some equipment. Now let's head over to see another one of our friends in the underworld. And we might find a copper store. The bad news is the great blacksmith Copper is no longer alive. The good news is his apprentice is still around. He's willing to upgrade all sorts of things. So we're going to take that crescent axe and give him 3 copper rings. He'll upgrade it to the battle axe, which is a really solid weapon. But we're not done. We're going to give him the other 4 we have and the battle axe to make the tomahawk, which is holistically Luca's best weapon for this tale. The tomahawk isn't quite as powerful as you need for a hammer we could have made, but it's a one-handed weapon that's back throw okay. Overall, it's much better than the two-handed hammer we could have used. So let's equip all this new stuff and see how much it helps our friends. Well, Kalka and Brenna got a little better, but it looks like we mostly just powered up Rydia and Luca. Which is important, but what are we going to do about those 2 guys? Because if we just go to the Steel Cave now, they're probably going to die in one of the first 2 encounters, and even if we make it to the boss of them, they won't be able to do it. We're going to make another side, the Sylph's Cave. Sylph's Cave has no story significance in this game, but it's still full of treasure. The monsters in here are monsters we can pay. They won't give a whole lot of experience to Rydia and Luca, but our level 1 friends are going to power up real fast. Which is really what we need, just for them to stay alive to do something. We're going to find some solutions with some items, so they won't need to have good stats to do something that will help us win. Start with Brett. This is scary. Please don't hit Brett. Don't hit him. Ooh, we survived. Anyway, as I was saying, we're going to start with Brett. The Clown's clothes are a defensively poor piece of armor, but they give a boost of 20 to speed. That really is an excessive amount. It not only makes it a lot easier to run away, but lets Brenna double turn everyone else. With that kind of speed, I think Brynna can really help us out as a healer. Because even though her heals are weak, she gets enough turns she can make it work. Dance, if you're wondering, is actually completely random. Usually heals a small amount. Sometimes it assumes the whole party. Sometimes it casts blink or haste on the whole party. That's really awesome and really rare. It might be able to do some other things too. I'm really not sure. But overall, it's something we're going to have to learn to learn. There's a dance that has power. Well, Luca shows off the power of the relative combat. That's enough fighting. So the enemies clearly don't believe that's enough encounter. We're not done. There's another direction. This is not good. Hopefully they all just cast slow level damage. Many would be a very unfortunate case. Look like things worked out any better for the Siths than for the other Eidolons. But now that we're fully equipped, for our girls, let's see if we can make these top wars do a little work for us. Because Kalka just seems like he's going to have a real hard time accomplishing those stats in his current equipment. Turn in our last three Conquer Wars, and that dagger we found is a dancing dagger, which, as anyone who's played the original might remember, is a very powerful weapon. So now let's just let that corner real quick. improve our supply situation, heal up, and get to the depot. Whoops, I don't have enough money to save. And I will see you guys next time when I attempt to conquer this deadly death.